Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Some rumors, overreactions, and some news. Unfortunately, not good injury news for the Dallas Cowboys. First up is Jourdan Lewis. He suffered a Lisfranc foot injury. He actually already had the surgery on Sunday night. His season is now over. There's really no way it comes back. Even Super Bowl time, it's just not going to work out for him. So, unfortunately, Lewis's season is over. Injuries suck. Lewis had a critical INT, a great diving one that he suffered the foot injury on. So type 2 in the comments section to show Jourdan Lewis some love after the unfortunate season-ending injury for Lewis. Talked a little bit about that on our post-game show, but now we know he is out for the year. Cowboys' plan then at corner is to make Jourdan Bland the new nickel corner. It will probably mean Deshaun Wright is active for the first time all year. He's been a healthy scratch every game. Maybe you see some more Kelvin Joseph as well. We did get to see a little bit, though, of Jourdan Bland earlier this year against the Commanders in particular, but when Jourdan Lewis suffered that hamstring strain that cost him a game. 75%, it was 6 of 8 targets-wise, 52 yards, had an INT, the pass breakup as well. Bland showed a lot of promise in the preseason. It sucks to lose players, but Bland did flash a little bit as Kelvin Joseph will probably remain the number one outside backup behind Brown and Diggs. More injury news to an already thin offensive line. Matt Farniok tore hamstring. Ow, by the way, that sounds incredibly painful. He could miss about 6 weeks, so not the longest recovery timeline. He will go on IR, and that will likely necessitate a promotion in some standpoint from the practice squad. I would guess Alec Lindstrom, because you're thin up front. Matt Willets goes on IR. Tyron Smith could come back at some point this year. The Cowboys say should. Matt Farniok is on IR now. Alec Lindstrom was the game day call-up a couple weeks ago when Connor McGovern was banged up. I think he'd have the advantage over guys like Dakota Shepley and over Isaac Alarcon. Let's get some overreactions then. Let's start juicy. How about Odell Beckham to the Cowboys? I'm going to go with too early to tell, but I'm not going to rule this one out because I'll read into a little bit of what the Cowboys or what Jerry Jones had to say about Odell Beckham. He was asked about Odell. Jerry said, well, I couldn't say that. I think you can get into a little hot water with that one. Now, I find that interesting because no, you can't. Jerry Jones knows that Odell Beckham is a free agent. There's no tampering from that standpoint. So I think that the Cowboys are a logical fit for Odell Beckham. I'm not going to say they're going to sign him for sure. We'll go more in depth in this in a minute. But I would not rule it out altogether, especially with some offensive issues you've had in the receiving game. So be honest with me. Do you want to sign Odell Beckham? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, great. Take advantage of it. Head down there, Y or N. The latest reports, and this is what's important on the Odell Beckham standpoint, the early returns are like maybe late October, early November for a timeline. The last update from big NFL media out there was actually maybe late November, early December. His ACL recovery has taken a little bit maybe longer than what you would like there. Depending on when he's back, though, the Cowboys could be an obviously strong fit for Odell Beckham. The receiving core has been okay so far at this point, but not elite by any stretch of the imagination. And Beckham, when healthy, as we saw last year, especially down the stretch with the LA Rams, can still be a high-end impact player for you. Michael Gallup, by the way, I know he's back, but he's not back. Do you know what I mean? He was targeted 2 times, had a really bad drop on one of them. He doesn't look the same right now. Noah Brown had 5 catches for 50 yards and then fumbled, and it was really bad. Tolbert can't get on the field. Turpin is a package player. CeeDee Lamb can be your number one guy, I suppose, but you still would like some more help there. If Gallup and Brown don't elevate their play and stay traditionally high, that's a big concern for me. Now, the money matters for Odell Beckham too. If he wants a long-term deal, not the Cowboys' way. If he wants a one-year deal, go prove himself, make some money next offseason, that starts to make more sense. There was a claim that Beckham wanted Gallup money. The Cowboys will not do that. One-year deal for a couple million, that could make more sense. Now, today's show is made possible by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Speaking of making money, right? Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys125. $100 down gets you a 125% deposit bonus. I bet on Carolina Reaper to have his kick return or punt return touchdown every week. Not hit yet, but it will. The early Week 8 odds are out, by the way. Dallas is a 10.5 over. Bears play on tonight on Monday Night Football, so lines probably can and will change. Early line, though, Dallas minus 10.5, which is interesting because that's a bigger line than the Lions game, which I find curious. Dallas 10.5-point favorites. Bet on them at chatsports.com/bet. 125% deposit bonus when you use promo code Cowboys125. Let's go to our next overreaction. Dak Prescott played well. I think that's fair. I'm not saying great or MVP caliber, but yeah, I thought Dak did just fine. Now, that's not to say Dak did perfectly. I think we can be realistic with our evaluations there. But he completed 76% of his passes, 207 yards, a very high-quality 8.3 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Now, we'll do some grades here in a little bit, but if I told you the Cowboys QB completed 76% of his passes and 8.3 yards per attempt, that's pretty good stats there. Let's look at what the QBs, Rush and Dak, have done the last 6 weeks. Here's all the numbers laid out for you. Completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdowns, INTs, best accuracy game from any Cowboys quarterback this year by a pretty easy margin. If you want to go really deep into the weeds and go full-on nerd evaluation there, we can use stuff like expected points added, which helps define this was a big play. How much did it impact the Cowboys' chances of scoring on a play? Dak's EPA in that game, expected points added, 11.9. For reference, the other 5 games combined by Cooper Rush was less than that. I mean, it's a low bar, maybe not a low bar, but an easy bar to clear for a player of Dak's caliber. Dak played better in that one game than Cooper Rush had played all year. Now, level of competition matters there. The Lions' defense has not been very good. They had a much better game plan there. But Dak still played well. 1 touchdown, 8.3 yards per attempt, and a nice 76%. Not always perfect. It's a couple bad throws, overly aggressive calls mixed in there. But I want you guys to grade Dak for me against the Detroit Lions. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off in the comment section. I'm going to give it a B, and I do think expectations matter here on grades. I can't get on board giving that game an A, because I've seen Dak Prescott's A game. That was on an A game from Dak. It was also not a bad game. It is unrealistic to put all of the blame on Prescott. The offense didn't do enough in that game, especially early on. But it kills you to run the ball 6 times on 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2 or shorter. And the first 6 times you ran the football, you converted 2 of them. For an offense that has run the ball great in short yardage situations, your O-line, Tyler Smith, struggled early in that game. Had some drops, but all quarterbacks have that, so it's fine. The fumble by Noah Brown was a backbreaker. Had the Cowboys scored on that drive, maybe we all feel better about the offense, and maybe they dropped 30, and now we're feeling more in line with what the Cowboys should do. Your defense, to be clear, won you that game once again. Help us keep the Cowboys Report growing. Bonk, Jeremy. 139K is our goal. We're at past 138,000. Thank you all who have subscribed already. I'd say hit the big red button here, but YouTube's changing that. It's not going to be the big subscribe icon. It's going to be a black and white subscribe, and then you can click those notifications to turn to all, so it's much easier. Subscribe right now to free Cowboys videos every single day. Our next overreaction, then we'll talk one trade in particular. Are no trades coming? Probably accurate. We can put the qualifier on there if we want. The Cowboys do like to lie. Looking at you, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones. But I do want to take Jerry at his word with this latest quote. I asked about, are you going to make any trades? We just need to take care of our business, Jerry said. We are not looking at needing help from other clubs. Just play real good from here on out, have the record that goes with it, we will be in good shape. Is that Dion out there? If we had a shot like that, it would be different. I don't see that happening. These quotes do annoy me, by the way, because that's not how the rest of the NFL operates. Like, the Cowboys are not aggressive. They are not all in on this current regime, both coaching and playing wise. They're not committed to risking it all to go win a title this year, the same way apparently the 49ers are. The Rams have been. Other teams, the Eagles, they're not nearly as aggressive at this moment. But maybe something comes along. The issue is the Cowboys, and they've said this publicly, they only make trades or want to make trades if other teams call them, which is, again, not how you get better. That's how you win the deal, but not how you get better. So will the Cowboys make a singular trade, 1 for yes or 0 for no? Now, over the last 5 years, the Cowboys have made trades. In fact, up until last year, they made a trade deadline, roughly, move 3 straight years. Elianaku from the Texans, remember him? Of course you don't. Terrible trade. Everson Griffin shipped off to the Lions. They got Michael Bennett from the Patriots, and of course the Amari Cooper trade from the Raiders. Did not do a trade last year. We'll see if one happens this year. Now, Jerry said he wanted that Deion Sanders, right? I know you guys want DJ Moore, and Michael Vick is latest, since he's doing some Fox Sports stuff now, the latest to suggest, hey, the Cowboys should trade for DJ Moore. As it turns out, teams who are not loaded at wide receiver should consider adding a young, talented, fairly cost-effective wide receiver. DJ Moore costs you nothing this year and is like $19 million the next couple of years, like super affordable. DJ Moore finally kind of showed up a little bit this week. He had his best game of the year as the Panthers somehow upset the Bucs. NFL's weird sometimes, guys. Moore has been a consistent 1,000-yard receiver, though, before this season and the Panthers' garbage tier offense. 1,000 yards in 2021, in 2020, and 2019. Here's the problem. I think the rest of the NFL is running into when they try to poach all the talent off of the Carolina Panthers roster. I would love to get DJ Moore. There's about 31 NFL teams that would love to get DJ Moore. But the realistic cost is probably significantly more than the A.J. Brown trade, a first and a third. Because in general, teams do not trade away 25-year-old star receivers who they literally paid 6 months ago. That's not how NFL teams do business. That doesn't make sense from a financial, a cost perspective, a capital perspective, a roster building perspective. It's not how NFL teams operate. So you should call. The Panthers should tell you 2 firsts. And you say, okay, probably not. But you should at least call. Before we go, one more reminder. Bully the Cowboys into fewer flags. They popped up again, almost cost you big against the Lions. And it seems that the more we type flags, the more the other team gets flagged as well. So spam flags for me right now in the comments section.